Good evening, everyone. We are back here at the Eureka Walmart for our weekly Walmart shopping trip. I am here at night instead of the morning because the day just got away with me. And as we walk in, pineapple was actually less than $2. I wish I would have bought one. Pineapple is usually like $3.99 at my local grocery store, so less than $2 is good. Bananas is still 50 cents a pound. To the left, you can see that freezer was completely empty. I noticed that, and that usually has ice cream cakes. And this is the clearance bakery. This is usually at the other end of the building. I just glanced, I really wasn't interested. It's actually a good thing that we couldn't make it this morning because I walk over, I see this sign, and so this is what the sign says. Attention Walmart customers, our store experienced a major power outage this morning. We are currently out of many cold grocery items. We are working hard to get these products back on the shelf for you. We thank you for your patience and understanding. So Eureka has not had any storms that would have knocked out power recently. The last time we had rain was like 4 days ago. This morning was a beautiful day, so I don't know why they lost power, and I don't know how long they lost power. I asked a couple of employees, and they kind of blew me off. They didn't know. So the general rule of thumb is if you lose power in the middle of summer, if for more than 4 hours, the food in your fridge is spoiled. If your freezer is half full, the food is good for 24 hours. If your freezer is completely full, your food is good for 48 hours. Here is the same sign. And so as you can see, there are a lot of empty spots. I don't know what is now food shortages or what is because of the power outage. And a power outage is just as concerning as food shortages because now we have food spoilage. No one will tell me how long their power was out. Why? If it was out for more than 4 hours, technically everything in the refrigerator, I mean, obviously fresh fruit is fine, but everything in the refrigerator section should have been thrown out if you believe the general rule of thumb of 4 hours. And it wasn't. It was like some spots were empty and some spots weren't. They obviously that meat, but then maybe that was in the freezer. I don't know. No one would tell me. So now mentally, I really don't want to buy anything that's not shelf stable because I don't know how long this power outage affected this Walmart. I don't know if this food has been sitting out. I don't know that employees would care how long it's been sitting out. So it's just a bummer, and this is the reality that we have to face. This whole rolling blackout. If you're not familiar with rolling blackouts, Google it. It's an issue. It's when the grid is stressed because of too much usage. I didn't think we had to worry about that in Missouri, but apparently we do. As you can see, there's barely any chicken. There was absolutely no bratwurst back there. There was no fish, but yet we still have like bacon and sandwich meat and hot dogs. So for whatever reason, Walmart decided that's perfectly safe. I just don't know. At this point, I'm just still thinking about the whole power outage and kind of frustrated that the two people I talked to wouldn't really answer me. So here we are at the eggs. It's still $3.24. I think that was the same price as last week. We'll have to say I did not really notice any price increases this week, which is good. Barely any cream cheese. Butter is well stocked, but again, that price is ridiculous. And so and the store is not very busy at all like it normally is. And I don't know if that, the word got out that Walmart had no power. I'm assuming they shut the store down completely when they had no power. Because, they can't run their electric cash registers and everything. That was a stocking boy that was not anything good. I think he just had a whole bunch of cereal. Dr. Pepper is empty. I was so bummed. I needed another cube. There was a 12 pack, but I wasn't crawling to get it. So this week I just bought RC. RC is the one price decrease this store has seen. So normally our weekly RC is $8.48 a cube. This week it is $7.48. Dr. Pepper was normally $8.98. If I would have bought it, it would have been $8.48. So the one thing that the price went down. Gatorade is looking a little sparse. Robert is going to go look at cat food because we just adopted a new cat. and our other cat has prescription food, so he's easy to feed. But now we have to find something for the new cat. And this is baby formula, as you can see. There's a bunch of empty spots. The formula on the left is for toddlers, and I was talking to a couple parents, and they wean their kids off before toddlers, that toddler stage. So I'm pretty sure that's why it's well stocked, because no one is giving their baby toddler formula. This is the cat food, and now that I have to pay attention, it is very depleted. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what Robert ended up buying. I think we ended up not buying any food. Instead, we got her toys. We got her that scratching post and a couple toys. We have plenty of cat toys at home, but we were reading an article about when you adopt a new cat, you should get that cat new toys because they can smell other cats on old toys. And it worked. She loved all her new toys. And I was very tempted to get this cat house, the Stranger Things cat house. I resisted the urge. It was $24.97. It's adorable. My Ollie does love cat houses, and I'm hoping the new cat would love cat houses, but yeah, that was too much. And so I see my husband picked up some mushrooms. Coffee is looking a little low. I don't drink coffee that much, but I've definitely seen people complain about the increase of coffee prices. I'm kind of glad I don't drink coffee. Don't know that Dr. Pepper's any better, but whatever. Jelly. So we still have peanut butter here. I was talking to my sister last night at her Walmart. Again, she lives 45 minutes away. They've not had any peanut butter, and she finally found a jar after 2 weeks. This is random stuff that people throw down. I just was like, what random junk that people just randomly leave everywhere. I've complained about that before, and then people are like, that's Walmart's employees' jobs to pick up after us. No, it's really not. And if you think it's that their job is to pick up after you, you're a very foolish person. Let's see. Cereal is not looking good. Rice Krispie Treats is low. Granola bars is low. I don't want to get into the debate about, customers who just leave their crap everywhere. But I will say it's just pure laziness. Trust me, people did not decide to work at Walmart so they can be your maid because you're too lazy to put stuff back where it goes. In the long run, it just costs all the customers more money. They should be stocking. Instead, they're picking up after you. Just costs more time and money because you're lazy. Don't be lazy. Let's see. Next aisle. Oh, celery salad. That's one of my favorites. Baking aisle. So pretty good on the flour. That's looking fine. Tons of choices on flour. What did I get distracted by? Oh, more. Yeah, someone put crust right there. Now that's bad because that should be refrigerated. So someone just ruined some product there. And just looking a little picked over, but it is night. That's usually what it looks like at the end of the day. And look at this. Berry-tastic cake mix. That's very tempting. I get easily tempted by packaging like this. But last year I tried the Fruity Pebbles syrup. That one right there. It's disgusting. And I bought that kit last year. It was fine. The syrup's disgusting. I don't recommend it. Now I have like a whole bottle of syrup. I don't know what I'm going to do with. Sugar is looking extremely low. As you can see, more crap people just threw everywhere. This Eureka Walmart is just going downhill big time. And let's see, the spices are looking pretty picked over. Next aisle. Sorry, just got distracted by my phone. So the veggies is looking fine. It looks a little picked over, but there are veggies there because I've seen it where there's been no corn at all. Plenty of corn, rice, plenty of rice. Picked over, but plenty of rice. I do grab another vinegar. I am on a canning spree. That's why I was bummed that there was no jalapenos because I like canning jalapenos. Walmart has the best price. I bake a lot. $5.74 for three bars of Crisco is just so expensive. I remember when I used to pay like $2.79, $3.99, just $5.74. Just for people who have to make buttercream cakes, that price just went up crazy. talking about prices going up. Last night we went to our local custard place and they had a sign on the door talking about how they're so sorry they had to adjust the recipe because the price of eggs, there's a lot of eggs in custard. The price of eggs has just got so expensive and they did not want to raise their costs. So they lowered the egg content in their ice cream so they would not have to increase their prices. And to me, the custard just tasted just as great. I loved it. I couldn't tell the difference. But they did their best to not raise the prices, and I thought that was great. We found one Chef Boyardee pizza maker. Remember, they never have these in stock. I'm looking around for the Best Buy date, because as you know, a lot of stuff is coming very soon. And so last time I bought it, it was February. I think I finally found it, and it was June of next year. So it's not the best date in the world. That's less than a year, but I'll take it. I don't think Chef Boyardee made more kits. I think people are just finding them in the back room and throwing them on the shelf. He bought more SpaghettiOs. Same price as last week, $1.17 a can. That's just us stocking up on shelf-stable items. I don't really eat SpaghettiOs every day, but we do want to have some shelf-stable items. Ramen is looking fine. So anyway, going back to Silky's and the fact that they had to lower the egg content because eggs are just so expensive. And then you read opposite stories where, the restaurants, instead of Silky's passing the cost onto the customers, they did their best to change their recipe. And then you read restaurants who their prices are just crazy high because they pass the cost on to the customer. This is where the Chef Boyardee pizza kit normally is. The price was the same. That's one thing that they haven't raised. And I did look on my receipts because it was the same price, like $3.68. You definitely have to check your receipts. The prices on the display are not always matching up what they actually charge at the register. So I skipped pasta, but pasta was looking great. It was a lot of name brands. It wasn't completely full, but it was pretty darn good. And here I'm distracted by, what is this? Stranger Things, a box that is open. I look at it, it's a brownie mix. And I'm like, I gotta find this. I'm nice. I pick up the cheese I accidentally knocked over, but I left that box there because I didn't know where it went. And so now I've got Stranger Things on my mind. And this is just, and here, look, some piece of aluminum. Did you see that aluminum packet? I'll get to it in a minute. So someone opened something and ripped it open. Here's what they did. Here is the Stranger Things box display. Every single box is open. Why? Well, it turns out that foil packet you saw is like edible wafers. And so someone went through and opened most of the boxes. They were all like half peeled open. And I pick up that box and took out the edible wafers. I don't know why. They're not even like taste good. So they completely ruined the display. Who's going to buy all these boxes that are open? I did find one box that wasn't opened and I bought it. And I did actually open it to make sure it just, the edible wafers were still in there. But yeah, someone came through, stole all the edible wafers. They don't even taste that good. I just don't understand people. This video is going to turn into a rant because there was so many examples this trip of like theft, of just people being lazy and throwing their crap everywhere, and the fact that someone just ruined this whole display because they're just selfish. It just was frustrating. I used to work at Walgreens, and one of my jobs at night was to go through the store and find all the empty boxes. Empty boxes is where say someone steals something, they take the product out of the box and leave the box behind. So then I would go through, find all the boxes, write up what their price value was, and so then Walgreens, would write that off, not pay taxes on it. And so it was a loss. And so what do businesses do? They pass that loss on to customers. So all this theft is just costing you, the consumer, more money in the long run. So frustrating. Because everyone's like, oh, don't worry about it. It's a big corporation. They'll just write it off. Writing it off just means they don't pay taxes on the loss. It doesn't mean the IRS is like, oh, you had $20,000 worth of stolen merchandise. Take $20,000 off your taxes. No, that's not how it works. All it means is they're not paying $20,000 worth of taxes on that stolen merchandise. So again, this theft, this laziness, it just costs you, the consumer, more money in the long run. Because trust me, these businesses will pass off all losses onto you, just like they're passing off all price increases onto you. So I did end up picking up this chicken for my niece. Since it was frozen, remember, frozen is good for 24 hours if it's, full. And she asked for that. Her Walmart did not have that display. And so I mentioned it last week. She looked, she couldn't find it. So I'm picking it up for her. Frozen food section, there's a couple empty spots. And I will have to say, whatever this power outage was, it wasn't long enough to melt the freezers, because my husband did end up buying some Blue Bunny drumsticks, and he ate one at home and it was perfectly fine. It wasn't melted at all. As you can see, he found some bomb pops and like I mentioned, that Blue Bunny stuff and a couple pizzas. Since it was frozen, I felt comfortable buying it. And now we are going to walk. I'm going to check the canned goods again. And I've mentioned in the last videos that, the canned goods, the prices are the canning supplies, the prices are the same as last year. I was wrong. They are not. All these prices have increased. No one has changed the labels. I ended up buying a thing of jelly jars. So reading that, let's see if I get close enough, should have cost me what, $10.47? No, it's actually $11.47 at the checkout. Yes, I know I could have went to customer service, pointed out the price difference, and they should have given me a refund, but it was late and I didn't have time for that. So yes, this is where you want to take pictures so you can show customer service if you have time to mess with it. At that point in my life, $1 was not worth it. At this point, I just was frustrated by the whole Stranger Things and just wanted to get out of this store. But first, I am going to go check the tampon aisle. And did you see that cart right there? That was full of empty boxes of stolen merchandise. You know how I mentioned I used to do that at Walgreens? Apparently Walmart has an employee that does that too. And it was just sad to see so much stolen merchandise. Going back over here, this is the beauty section. Lots of empty carts just left everywhere. And so glad I'm fully stocked up on tampons. It's a small section anyway, but I buy Playtex, and they're completely empty. That one box, I'm like, one box, yay, let me grab this one. No, it's open. Someone opened the box and took out a tampon. Again, this Walmart is just a crap hole. I'm just, at that point, I'm like, I'm just done. I'm done with this store. I'm so frustrated. It's like, that's what is it? $7.48 a box. Love my local grocery store. I know everyone's like, support your local grocery store. That box of tampons at my local grocery store is $10.98. Okay, this is why I shop at Walmart. Yes, I want to support local, but sometimes the cost is just ridiculous. All right, enough ranting. Off we are to the self-checkout. Oh, one more thing. 1 bar of soap, $5.98. I don't know. I just feel like everything is Bigfoot lately, and I would not pay $6 for 1 bar of soap. Seems a bit much. And here we go. Here's our couple of things. I did get some jars. So thanks for listening to me rant, and I will see you next week.